As judges issue temporary rulings to pause Trump's sweeping executive actions on constitutional grounds, Team Trump is working overtime to discredit America's legal system, with Elon Musk and even J.D. Vance accusing judges of being secret Democratic activists. There is no evidence to support that, by the way, and suggesting the administration could ignore court rulings altogether. George Conway is back with us.
Can I just jump on a point real quick? The judges who are stopping Trump now, like the judges who stopped him around January 6th and the election before that, are Republican judges.
Many of them, yeah.
But he has scrambled that. He has scrambled.
Many of them are appointed by him.
But that is so old school of us, because you're still thinking of it the way I think of it, which is Democrats, Republicans, progressives, conservatives. He has made it inside and out.
Right.
These people are part of the institution, and thus they are part of the deep state.
Regardless of the fact that he appointed them.
Mm-hmm. Because regardless of the fact that he himself was president of the United States, he somehow convinced people that he was once again an outsider.
He's trying to delegitimize the legal system, I think, so that it is very easy for him to ignore the laws, and then the people will be with him. Because the people are like, yeah, these activist judges, and it's like, what? The judges can only consider the cases brought before them. The judges aren't going out here being like, I hereby decree. People are bringing cases, and they are ruling, not with some animus towards Trump, but like, for the law. Yeah. This is law being applied fairly,
and to Simone's point, prosecutors are prosecuting.
You persuaded me.
Well,
we like to violently agree.
Right. I agree with everything you're saying.
But they're prosecuting because elements of a crime have been brought in front of them, and they, by order of their sworn oath, follow the crime. Right. And if the crime happens to lead to your death, Donald Trump, because of something you did, that's not political, that's not personal. That's just the way the system works for every other brother and sister out here on the street.
The way I look at it is Donald Trump is a criminal sociopath. You tick off the definition of a sociopath. They don't want to obey laws, they don't want to obey rules, they don't think they apply to them. And Donald Trump has no moral conscience and no empathy. He does not care about anybody else other than Donald Trump, which is why in his first term he said, Article 2 lets me do whatever I want, Article 2 of the Constitution. The first Trump term, which I call Shit Show 1, was was an assault on the rule of law, but it was only like it was like cancer. It was like a stage 1, maybe stage 2. We got to stage 2 right around January 6th. And he was a threat to the rule of law. And then he went into remission. Now he's back. We're at stage 3. Stage 3 is basically where we are ignoring laws and running roughshod over laws. I mean, they're basically refusing to spend money appropriated by Congress, which is against the law. The law requires the president to spend money. The president can't not spend the money that's been allocated for particular subjects. And you've got this guy who's not been appointed lawfully under the Constitution.
Let's talk about that.
Musk. Yep. And so that's stage 3. Stage 4 is going to be, well, these courts are telling me not to obey orders. Why should I? I don't want to obey the law, so why am I obeying the courts? And stage 4 is metastasis. Stage 4 is when democracy can die, and the rule of law can die, and constitutionalism can die. And we unless something happens radically, I can't see how we don't get to stage 4, because the logical path that they are taking, which is that the law doesn't apply to us, and nobody can enforce the law against us.
Yes, they're saying these activist judges are saying these things. We can't take the judges seriously. They literally are like, by they, I'm talking about J.D. Vance, Donald Trump himself, Elon Musk, are saying, since when can a judge tell the president what to do?
So I want you to riddle something out for me, which is, let's say Elon Musk goes after CFPB, has his fingerprints all over CFPB, given that he has a business interest before CFPB that would benefit.
Right.
Then you have people saying, well, then you could have charges of criminal conflict of interest that were brought. Those charges, though, would have to be brought by Trump's DOJ, correct? Okay. So I think given what we are watching, that seems unlikely. What then is the legal mechanism?
Oh, it's worse than that.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone around Trump feels like they are immune from prosecution. Okay? And that includes Musk. It includes a guy like a Boris Epstein who tried to hold people up for cabinet positions. It includes everyone around him. They have no fear of ever being investigated. If you're friendly with Trump, like Mayor Adams, you get a pass. And even if the Justice Department were highly unlikely to charge you, guess who could give you a pardon if you go back and kiss the ring? Okay? So, but it's worse than that. You point out that the Justice Department isn't going to prosecute any of these minions. It's worse than that. The Justice Department is the only way courts can enforce orders. I'm a judge, and you do something in your court and you throw something at me. I can throw you in jail for civil contempt, okay, or criminal contempt. If you to enforce my orders, as a federal judge, I can have you thrown in jail. How do I do that? I say, Marshal, take her away. Guess who the U.S. Marshal Service works for?
Oh, my God.
The United States Department of Justice. And who does the United States Department of Justice report to? This is the problem. The courts have no police of their own. They have no army of their own.
Right.
The only thing that stands between us and utter lawlessness is our willingness, and in particular, the willingness of government officials, including and especially the President of the United States, to obey the court orders, even when they have good faith disagreements with those orders. And this president doesn't have good faith disagreement with these orders. He does not care. He is a lawless criminal. And we have basically a criminal regime. And if you believe that they are going to abide by court orders, they're not going to do it. They're already probably trying to slide around the court orders. But they're not quite yet in open defiance, but we will get there.
I think we get there much sooner than people may realize, because the speed of this matters. The speed with which they are coming at the system matters. If they did it slowly, give folks a chance to regroup and sort of collect themselves. But now you've got
it's like a safety blitz. I mean, that's what they're doing.
States, U.S. attorneys general. You've got individual organizations and some individuals out there just running to catch the lawsuits and throw them out there. That's part of breaking down the system.
You know, it's funny, though. It cuts a little both ways there. I don't think the Justice Department is going to be able to defend all of these suits because there are so many of them. And they have limited resources at the Justice Department. And some of these lawyers are going to quit, as we have just seen. So they're going to not be able to defend these orders, which tells me they're just going to disobey them. And what they're going to do is they're going to order the Marshal Service not to enforce any orders, any contempt orders against government officials, federal government officials who are disobeying orders, court orders at the behest of the president.
And further to your,
I'm so cheery.
No. I'm just like, dang, George, but you're telling the truth, and the people need to know because some people got it.
I've been saying this.
Have you believe?
Like I've been saying this to law. I've been saying this to law professors. I'm saying this to smart lawyers. I've been saying it to smart historians and smart political scientists, and I'm begging them in private conversation, tell me I am wrong. And nobody can tell me.
And further to your cancer analogy, to think that Mitch McConnell and Merrick Garland each had an opportunity to put a little chemo.
And Mitch is kind of finally seeing the light here.
Put a little chemo on that bad boy. George Conway, thank you so much.